Alright, Snips, you've trained long enough. Time to build your own lightsaber.
Finally! This is gonna be like the best day ever!
Building a lightsaber is not as easy as it sounds. It's a Jedi's rite of passage.
Wow, I never seen you so serious.
What can I say? I know firsthand how dangerous these things are.
Oh, Sky Guy, you're so goofy.
One day I'll return the favor, with interest.
Interest! I don't know what that means.
I think it's something bad. When Watto said it, people got angry.
Well, since we're talking like this, well, it's kind of embarrassing.
Did you call Obi-Wan Dad again? Happens to the best of us.
Well, I don't actually know how a lightsaber works. Could you teach me?
Ahsoka, of course I can. I don't mean to brag, but I am the chosen one.
Okay, cool. Well, what's it made from? I should probably know that if I'm going to make one, right?
Don't worry. Took me a while to figure this out too. But a lightsaber is made from light.
Really? It's that simple?
Of course. It'd be very confusing if it wasn't, right?
I guess, but what even is light?
Oh, you know, it's that stuff that comes from space and that your eyes suck up.
Well then, why don't my eyes suck up a lightsaber?
Snips, that's just stupid.
But that's what you said!
Hey, listen, I'm an engineer, not a scientist, all right? It's a bunch of hot light that you can melt things with, and the Force is involved too.
I'm not sure that's right.
Well, that's because you're the apprentice, and I'm the master. You are on this mission, Anakin, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
Master Kenobi!
Hello there. Apologies, Master. My apprentice thought it'd be prudent to question the signature weapon of Force users.
I just wanted to know how light works.
Please forgive her. She inhaled a bit too much hyperdrive coolant. Anakin, you silly little clanker. Light isn't a fluid you suck in with your eyes. It's vibrating electric-magnetic fields that travel through space, and a lightsaber made from light would cause quite the issue.
Really? Why wouldn't it work?
Well, ordinary light doesn't just stop. If you activate a glow rod, the light beam keeps going until something absorbs or reflects it. So a lightsaber needs a way to define an end to the blade. Okay, well, why is that an issue? Our technology is highly advanced, Master. The issue isn't with technology, it's with physics. You can think of light as a wave, where the wavelength is the distance between repeating parts of the wave. This distance is on the order of nanometers, which is extremely small, even shorter than Master Yoda. So, to make a blade of light, what you need to do is stack a considerable amount of wavelengths on top of each other. We can actually define a little expression for it. Blade length equals mode number times wavelength over 2.
Why are you saying wavelength over 2? That just seems confusing.
Oh, that's just how we define the nodes on a standing wave. Perhaps this picture will make things clearer. The wave is blue and the red dots on it are its nodes. You can see that the distance between the nodes is equal to half the wavelength. So when there are 2 nodes, the mode number is 1. When there are 3 nodes, the mode number is 2, and so on. Master, this is extremely confusing. Also, since when did you know this stuff? The Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Understandable. But here, this should clear things up. This is a poorly drawn image of a lightsaber. The hilt is black and the blade is blue. Imagine that there is an invisible, perfectly reflective material at the tip of the lightsaber, so that the light bounces back and forms this nice standing wave pattern. We've labeled the nodes of the light wave with red dots, so you can see the mode number is 12, which means that the blade length is equal to 6 wavelengths. This is more complicated than my relationship with Padme.
What?
I said, well, why is this an issue, Master? So what if the light makes a standing wave and there's modes or nodes or whatever? What's the big deal? Imagine a stack of plates at your favorite cantina, if you will. If there are only 2 or 3 plates on the stack, then you can easily move them. But if there were hundreds, then the slightest shift would cause the whole stack to topple over.
Why is he talking about cantinas?
Master Kenobi has a serious drinking problem. How else am I meant to cope with you as my apprentice? I miss Qui-Gon.
What's with the stack of plates analogy? You only have 6 wavelengths in your lightsaber picture here, so I don't really think the comparison works.
That's where you're wrong, my young Padawan. Consider a blue lightsaber. The wavelength of blue light is around 450 nanometers. Say we want to make a 1 meter blue lightsaber. Then using our little formula from before, the mode number of the wave is around 4.5 million. That means there are over 2 million wavelengths of blue light in this lightsaber. Even the slightest bit of interference will throw the whole thing out of sync. If you swung it around, it'd be jittering more than Grievous in a sandstorm on Geonosis. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough.
Please stop talking.
To really drive the point home, let's say we allow the mode number of a positional tolerance of 1/4. If it's greater than that, then the wave will destructively interfere with itself. What blade length does this positional tolerance correspond to? Just 56 nanometers. That's 100 times smaller than the cells in your body. If you let the blade shift more than 56 nanometers, then it glitches around, changing its shape and length. And you have to keep the whole thing steady while swinging it mid-combat. Not even Master Yoda could do this, especially because of his ketamine addiction.
But they're lightsabers! Light has to make some sense, right?
No, a lightsaber whose blade is made from light is totally impossible. I mean, the blades would just pass through each other during a duel, and there isn't enough radiation pressure to force the light to feel solid. Plus, it would blind you, and the energy density would be absurd. But there is something else which is far more plausible. I think that's great, Master. Why, thank you. You're usually so negative. What? You're sarcastic, condescending, overly critical, and you never really listen Listen, I'm only 3 of those things. Honestly, you're kind of a jerk. I think Qui-Gon would have been a better fit for me.
He really was great.
You never even met him.
I heard great things.
Well, let me tell you another piece of great news. Lightsabers make a lot more sense if their blades are plasma, which just so happens to be what they're canonically made from.
At least someone knows what's going on.
Well, I am a slow learner.
That's not something to be proud of, you know.
Well, I am a slow learner.
You're such a clanker.
Hard R snips? Really? That's my girl. It's literally just my arm that's robotic, guys. Come on. Clanker logic. Am I right?
You are right, Master Kenobi.
Just explain what plasma is. Certainly. Well, it's really just a super hot ionized gas. A lightsaber holds it in place using magnetic fields. The hilt injects the stream of ionized gas and wraps it in a strong magnetic field to keep it in place. The plasma is full of ions, which are constantly emitting photons of a certain frequency. That's the glow which gives your blade its color. And the plasma is blisteringly hot, which allows it to cut.
What about the length problem which we had with light? We needed a perfect standing wave there. One slip and the whole thing fell over worse than Sky Guy's childhood.
Guys, I was literally a slave. Plasma doesn't have that problem. The geometry of the magnetic field is what sets its length, and that can be easily configured to run straight for about a meter and then loop back. No nanometer precision required. It'll be a balancing act though, right? If the magnetic field's pushed too hard, the blade will collapse. How apt for the chosen one to speak about balance. Hear that, Snips? I got a compliment.
Suck up.
Don't be so snippy, Snips.
I'm not snippy. Stop calling me that.
Snip, 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 snip,
Shut
snip.
up.
But yes, you're quite right. It's a balancing act between magnetic pressure and plasma pressure. The plasma is constantly pushing out, so the magnetic field has to be constantly squeezing it. You see, the magnetic pressure has to be equal to or greater to the plasma pressure for the lightsaber to be able to work. The left-hand side of this relationship is the magnetic pressure, the magnetic field strength squared over the permeability of free space. And the right-hand side is the plasma pressure, the product of particle number density, Boltzmann constant, and plasma temperature.
Okay, well I think the plasma pressure in part makes sense. I mean, if the density of particles increases or the temperature increases, then it makes sense for the pressure to increase too. So that really just means there's a bunch of particles bumping into things quicker.
You've trained your apprentice well, Anakin. I taught her that every mistake is a lesson. By that logic, you should be wiser than Master Yoda. There's banter, and then there's this.
But what's that permeability of free space thing? Like, I guess it's to do with magnetism or whatever, but I really have no clue.
Indeed it is. You can actually infer quite a lot of information if you just consider the units. As you can see, permeability of free space has units of newtons per ampere squared. Ampere is what the A stands for, and it's the unit of electric current. So you can already figure out the permeability of free space is about the force per current. And indeed, that is its physical meaning. It measures how easily a magnetic field can develop from a current. When you say force, you don't mean the force, right? I mean an action which can push or pull things, so forces produced from the force are still forces. Indeed, if you are strong with the force, then the force which the force generates will be quite forceful. I think he did a Jedi mind trick on me.
So you can work out science stuff from just the units? That feels like cheating.
Ahsoka, cheating is my specialty. Let's take a trivial example involving speed, distance, and time. Now, these 3 are related, but what if you forgot how? Well, working it out is quite simple. You know speed is measured in meters per second, so the relationship must be speed equals distance divided by time, because that's the only way to get the units of meters per second.
Wow, that's so clever.
If you thought that was good, wait till you see this. In addition to the permeability of free space, which tells us how easily magnetic fields form, there's also the permittivity of free space. It tells us how easily electric currents form, and 1 over the square root of the product of these is equal to the speed of light. That's where the speed of light comes from? Why, of course, Anakin. As I said earlier, light is just a vibrating electric and magnetic field. It's part of the electromagnetic spectrum, so it makes sense that its speed is defined by electromagnetic constants.
You're like some sort of space wizard.
Yes, well, knowing this stuff is quite useful. During a particularly spirited spy session, Master Yoda actually became magnetic. This magnetism stuff is fun. Do we even need to talk about lightsabers anymore? We should just talk about this. Master, please return to the lightsabers. Very well. Let's do a little example to work out how strong the magnetic field in a lightsaber needs to be. Let's say the blade is 1,000,000 Kelvin, and its particle density is 10 to the 22 per cubic meter. Then we calculate the pressure exerted by the plasma to be 138,000 Pascal, which means that the required magnetic field strength is approximately 0.59 Tesla, which is actually no problem at all. An MRI magnet has a magnetic field strength of between 1 and 3 Tesla, so containing the lightsaber's plasma is really no issue. I thought Tesla was a type of land speeder.
I thought it was a person.
You're both right. Tesla was a scientist from some backwater planet in a galaxy far, far away. The land speeder and a unit of magnetic field strength are named after it. Okay, but why are we using those units? Just shut up.
Please forgive me, Master Kenobi, but I must mention the T word.
Thesis? Different channel, Anakin.
Thermodynamics! If the lightsaber's plasma is so hot, then why doesn't it melt you?
Master, I don't want to get melted. Don't worry, Anakin. If that were to happen, I certainly wouldn't just stand there watching and then steal your lightsaber. That was oddly specific, but thank you. But the answer is shielding technology. Lightsabers have a containment field which stops the blade's temperature from heating your hand. Simple, really.
And that makes sense?
Why, of course. Have you seen the things we can do in our galaxy? A little portable shield is really not a big deal. If we lived in that planet Tesla was from, then would it work? Oh, hell no. Those guys are idiots. Did you know they haven't even invented hyperdrives yet? And people think I have learning difficulties.
I bet they're ugly, too.
Yeah, they probably look nothing like us. But anyway, let's talk lightsaber duels. I like to spin my lightsaber around and hit things with it.
Same!
Well, luckily for you, plasma blades can do that. Each blade is a column of hot, ionized gas trapped inside a magnetic field. When two blades meet, the fields and the hot plasma inside them push back, so you can parry, block, and redirect.
Can you show us an example?
I'd be happy to. Let's look at our equation for magnetic pressure again. Say we have a magnetic field with a strength of 2 Tesla. Then the magnetic pressure is equal to 1.6 million Pascal. Let's also say that the contact surface area of the tip of the blade is a circle with radius 1 centimeter. Then the force of the blade is the magnetic pressure times area, which is 500 newtons. That's the same as holding up 50 kilograms, or 110 pounds. More than enough to make a strike feel real.
Okay, so strikes make sense. But what about parries, blocks, sliding along an opponent's blade?
Let's try to keep things PG-13 around here, Snips. Try telling that to Padme. Oh, yes.
What does that mean?
Master, maybe keep that one between us and the Chancellor. Everyone else around here is such a bore.
Do the bright lights when lightsabers strike make sense?
Why, of course. Those bright flares happen when the magnetic energy of the fields heat up the ions in the plasma. The energetic ions emit photons to release the energy, which is the bright light that you see.
Well, since we're on the topic of energy, where's the energy coming from?
It took us this long to get to kyber crystals? I do be yapping.
The what crystals?
A lightsaber has 3 essential components. The power source, which is a compact high-energy cell, the field hardware, which are the emitters and coils keeping the plasma in place, and the kyber crystal. Honestly, it's more of a tuner than a battery. It listens to the power cell and couples to the field hardware. It's what turns the energy into the plasma blade. It's also semi-sentient and resonates with the Force. Let's not confuse the poor girl, Anakin. It sets the color and stabilizes the output too. Basically keeps the whole thing from tearing itself apart.
It sounds really important.
Indeed they are, Ahsoka. The final step of a Padawan's training is finding their very own crystal. It's a rite of passage that symbolizes a Jedi's growth and connection to the Force. But there's more to a lightsaber than just the crystal. Master, may I briefly describe why the dark side are dumb? Does an Ewok defecate in the woods? Okay, well, I actually heard this during one of Master Yoda's seizures, so don't ask me how it works. But kyber crystals resonate at different frequencies, which affects the color, right? Well, it turns out those different colors mean that the ions in the plasma are at different energies. And it also turns out that the color red has the lowest energy, since it has the lowest frequency. So, like, the energy per photon for a red lightsaber is lower than a blue one. So, the dark side's lightsabers are weaker than ours.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I know, right? Only an idiot would join them. While that is true, it's not the whole story, Anakin. Red lightsabers can make up for their lower energy per photon by simply having more photons, or a hotter blade, or a stronger magnetic field. I prefer my conclusion of the dark side being big dum-dums.
Super dum-dums.
It may also surprise you to know that the power requirement of a lightsaber is a non-issue. The total required power is the sum of the power needed to maintain the magnetic field, sustain the plasma, produce the glow, and cut into a target. We can make some rough estimates for a 1-meter-long blade. It's no surprise that cutting is when we need the most power. Power actually scales with the temperature to the power of 4, so you'll want to be very careful about increasing that too much. But even with a 10,000 Kelvin blade, the total requirement is only around 100 kilowatts, the same as a small land speeder engine. It's a good thing we live in a galaxy which has handheld land speeder engines. It sure is.
Wait, so are you telling me a lightsaber actually makes sense? It isn't magic?
Certainly not. It's all quite physically possible. The only limitation is technology. You need shielding to stop your hand from melting, of course. Then you need the portable power source. Assuming the kyber crystal plays nice, then it's all very doable. Well, there you have it, Snips. That's how lightsabers work.
Okay, but why would you use one?
What?
Well, they're like super dangerous. Could easily cut your limbs off with them. Like, don't get me wrong, they're fun, but they just don't seem very practical.
And do you have an alternative weapon?
Honestly, I think a blaster would be better.
Master, cover your ears! So uncivilized.
How is attacking from range uncivilized? Don't you see how that's useful?
I'd sooner be slain by Grievous than fire one of those ghastly things. I'd sooner not force choke my pregnant wife.
What?
I sooner would force choke my pregnant wife. I mean, she's not pregnant, at least I hope not. I mean, I don't have a wife. I miss Qui-Gon.